So the Terraria Forums saga continues, and because of it, we've got quite a lot of things to talk about today, so as always, let's jump into it. Now first off, in regards to the dinosaur mount spoiler, we saw a few days ago, somebody did ask how you might obtain it, and Red responded, we have some balancing to do, but I want it to be crafted out of fossils. Next up, somebody wrote a post to Red that said, can you add an option in the settings that changes the music to otherworldly? Waiting for a party girl to listen to this godly soundtrack is too long. And Red responded, I'll see about a better way to do this. Next up, somebody asked Red about the idea of having relationships with Terraria NPCs, and Red responded, either a Terraria 2 or a 1.5 idea. Relationships with NPCs have been on my mind. Now, I may be wrong, but I do believe that this is Red's first time referring to the idea of 1.5 since the development of 1.4.5 began. And to be clear, this isn't confirmation that 1.5 may come in the future. The sentiment behind this is that if they do plan to do something big once again, it will either be Terraria 2 or another big update to Terraria 1. Next up, we got a post from Kirby EV. They wrote, okay, since there aren't any spoilers on this afternoon and my drawing guess game didn't make the news in ChippyGaming yet, this will certainly do it. A look at one of the many effects produced by Seed Combinations. And included is a brand new spoiler for Terraria 1.4.5. Now, you lot have heard me gush about this new lighting system a couple of times now, so I don't want to repeat myself too much, but I do believe that this is the best image we've had of that new lighting system in action, and I think we can all agree it's beautiful. Now, we can tell from the painted beach that part of this world generation is the celebration seed, but it's going to be very interesting to find out how you get an ocean of shimmer with celebration. Red followed this up and said, shimmer seed is a seed combination. There are several special combinations to find. So who knows, maybe you mix celebration with for the worthy and you get an ocean full of lava. Now before we move on to the next spoiler, I do have to let you know about the waging war on the Terraria forums. There's quite a bit of context you need here, so let me explain. Now you may have heard, but back in November, Twitter launched paid verification badges where you'd pay like $8 and you got the little blue tick on Twitter. Well, Red, he was against this. He took a moral stance, and instead of paying the $8, instead, he added the tree emoji to his Twitter username. And this, kind of became a thing. All of Relogic added a tree to their Twitter usernames as well. It kind of became like the Relogic verification mark. Well, flashback to a couple of days ago, Red deactivated his Twitter account and moved his attention to the Terraria forums. And when over there, Red added the tree to his forum username as well, and started encouraging others to do the same. And this tree, well, it became a mark of pride for Red, with him leaving posts like, you must pick a side. You are either the axe or the tree, which has meant some people adding a tree to their forum username and some taking the opposite route and adding an axe instead. Now, with the tree being the symbol of Red, the majority of the Terraria forum members were adding a tree to their username, and Red even began issuing warnings to forum members that added an axe instead. And it was all going well until a pretty interesting development last night. And that's because Senex logged into the forums and changed her name to Senax, becoming the new leader of the Axe cult on the forums. And with her moderation powers, she actually banned Red from the forums, citing abuse of power because of the warnings that Red had been dishing out. Now, in Red's absence, I became the de facto leader of the trees. All right, there wasn't a vote held. I just, gave myself the title. And I reached out and said, Dear Senax, I speak on behalf of the trees in Red's absence. What do you offer in return for the axe? And we got a response. Senex said, I will give you a spoiler and continue to fight for the good fight for the summoners class. Netflix, you'd like to buy the rights to this great waging war and make a 10-part series? Oh no, sorry, I can't actually sell the rights. Yeah, you see, I'm not the CEO of Relogic. No, I lost the jousting match. Anyway, with all that in mind, that prompted a brand new spoiler. Senex wrote, The Cult of Senax delivers, and alongside was a brand new spoiler for 1.4.5. And this spoiler makes me so happy because finally, after all of these years, I've actually predicted something. So this is a brand new summon, and it's Mushroom Boy from Dead Cells. And if you remember, a couple of weeks ago, I made a video talking about what I would add from Dead Cells to Terraria, and one of the things I spoke about in length is Mushroom Boy. And it seems like they are here, and they're a summon, and they look great. But the question is, will they explode on impact? Because if you remember in Dead Cells, they're quite a gory summon. Now, somehow, Red managed to get himself unbanned and said, I only have one card left to play, and you forced my hand. And he declared that he's adding a new special boulder to the game. The drama didn't stop there though, because Senex did share a video where Red had redirected the Terraria forums to take you to carebears.com, a true act of war. Now throughout this, the head of business at Relogic, Loki, had yet to pick a side. He is neither the tree nor the axe, which I believe is why we had this retaliation from Senex. When Loki told me he wanted to update his developer's armor, I was a little hesitant. When Jim showed me what he wanted, I was sure it was the right move. Coming to an update near you, I proudly present Loki 2.0. Now listen, you can take this tweet at face value and say, okay, this is a redesign of Loki's set, but I don't actually think that's what's going on here. I feel like this is part of something grander. I believe that the wings, the goggles, the chest piece are all brand new vanity outfits, and underneath all of that is Loki's actual original armor. Maybe it's been dyed as well. You can also see that the player exits through a door with a heart on it, so I do believe that we're about to get some heart-themed items. Also, last night we got a tweet from Sea Shadow that said, in spirit of the cult of Senax, I present to you the objectively best painting in Terraria 1.4.5 by yours truly. And what's really cool about this is that this is actually a pixelated version of a piece of art that Shadowette created of Senex a couple of years ago, so it's nice to see that come full circle and actually end up in the game. And then finally, somebody wrote a message on Red's wall that said, would you please give us a hint? Could you say a number of how many things from Dead Cells have you added? And Red responded, something for each class and some extras on top. Alright, that's it for today. Get subscribed if you haven't already. If you want to follow along with the madness, I'm here for it. I'll make sure that you stay up to date. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.